Underneath, they will be all the way around. So when the air goes in, it's almost a sterile environment when where the surgeon is working on a patient. The capacity here is to take 3 patients, but in reality, when everything is all said and done, if we have to, we can put 6 here. And the reason we did that, again, it's a mass casualty preparation.
Right.
The thouse door, as you will see, it lines up
right in here.
Right in here.
Yep.
Okay, so they come in straight here. This door is a right turn and you go to the trauma elevator. So it did work out exactly the way we wanted. And also for the first time in history of Halifax, we have 3 resuscitation rooms, 1, 2, 3. And they are built and designed for taking care of patients that they may be coming as a trauma patient, but they're a stroke alert type, or they could be cardiac arrest, so you don't bring them back to life in the middle of the hallway or in a room and then jumping them. We feel like a resuscitation room is due, that you got to take them in privacy and try to bring them back.
Wow.
And the same for pediatrics, because pediatrics resuscitation is a big issue too. We don't have that, and a lot of hospitals don't do it because they don't feel it's necessary. But when it actually gets done, if you ever attended, that's not a pretty sight to jumpstart a child. That's not. You want to do that in complete privacy. So we did that. We built 3 of them. The setup where the nurses will be sitting is a gallery setup, so it's a circular one. Obviously, it's not going to be manned 24/7, while the trauma is 24/7 working.
Sure.
But it will be equipped 24/7, and the minute the button gets pushed, trauma alert, everybody comes to their station and begin receiving. On the other side, there will be 1 person sitting to receive patients coming from nursing homes, or they got called, to pick them up from their house and they have to bring them here. So, or evac brings somebody. So the other side will always have 1 person sitting there. The decontamination system, again, just to give you an idea how it works. By the way, every corridor that you saw running north-south, that's a way to quarantine the air. So we have the capability to quarantine patients or an influx of patients to come in with any particular epidemic, whether it's a bird flu or avian flu, whatever the type comes in, we can shut down the system, pressurize one side, slow down on the other one, or negative pressure on the other side, so nothing could be contaminating the side of the hospital where we need to protect.
And what is that technology called?
It's quarantining by air,
Okay.
We quarantine corridors by air. There is 2 ways you can quarantine. Obviously, the best is to hygiene and clean and put masks and all that. But what other countries did, like I think when Canadian had that problem, it took them a while to get it under control in hospitals, because administrative control, which is the mask and the washing and all that, that was good. They could do that. But what that resulted in, people were waiting to get in and get, masked and get clean and get gowned. We feel, and the world agree with us, we feel like the best quarantine is by pressurizing the compartment, so no air moves in, because most of these things can move through the air quick. Sure. And then the contamination spreads.
And then if you've got 10 people, they can all come in.
Sure. If you look at how this is set up, the suspected contaminated person comes from this side. They can wash their hands, the staff can use this. They can shower them. And as long as they're in the status of suspect, they don't have to come in here. They go through this door. They're still beyond the line. They go in and there is a patient room. If you notice the similarity between this room and the rest of the rooms, there's no difference. It's a clinically equipped room, 100%. So they can keep working on that individual until it's deemed necessary for them either to take them as a real infectious disease type of a person, or it's clean enough, bring them on, no problem. So this is almost of a lock system, an airlock system. And it have the control where you can clean them, bring them in, no wasting time.
And it's virtually airlocked because you have negative pressure.
Absolutely. It's right here. You can, it will have two lights. Either it would say normal, okay, or it's alarming. It's alarming means that there is a little bit of pressure coming in, so nobody gets in. And definitely, if it does that, we will see it on the system, and we will come back immediately and see why it's doing this. It should never alarm.
Wow.
And it will tell you what the pressure differential between back and forth, front and back. Anyway, I really can go on and on in this area because it has so many features, because it's pretty exciting that we move from where we had trauma-wise to this. That's a huge jump.
Oh, it's huge.
And if you take a look at the nearest trauma would be, I think, RMC. But they are the highest level of trauma. We are a grade below them.
You're a 2?
We're 2.
They're a 1.
They're 1.
What's the differentiation?
There isn't really.
That's what I thought.
There isn't. If somebody come in here, you don't do tests to see whether it's classified trauma 1 or 2. It have to do with who's, I believe, in the licensing, who is the neurosurgeon available 24/7. We may have a surgeon, but it's not a neurosurgeon. I don't know. I think that's where the classification comes in.
So it has less to do with the facility than it does the ability to treat.
Oh yeah, well, you know, all you have to do is after you do this, go take a look at theirs and then come and tell me what you think. There's no comparison between this and them. So Mike hold out the measurement on the end of that. Okay, I think you remember this wall. We're going to push this wall, and that will be a corridor straight into the old building, and it takes you to the 6-bank elevator that takes you to the East Tower, the original tower. The reason for us doing this is the fact that if we fully, the sensors are high and then we fill that tower, we don't want to do any movement other than linear, just quick, go straight here, take the elevator, go up. And we felt that this was the solution right here. That would be done once we do the move. We move them in here, we bust this one, and then continue going. The corridor exists except in one area. There is that old trauma room. We're going to continue blowing through it. We will be in the 6-bank lobby, 6-bank elevator lobby. Beyond this wall is another pod, but it's a smaller in square footage and smaller in the number of rooms, and that's the psych entrance. And I think you do know that we're a Baker Act receiving facility, so we have to have a psych ward. So we did it. It have a nurse station, it have communication between here and here, have all the amenities that you need for a psych entrance. In addition to that, we have their own entrance too. So if they're bringing in a violent patient, somebody coming out of jail all shackled up, or they go from that entrance, and the entrance is similar to what you see on the decontamination room. It's a door to the outside, go into the room. So you do a lock, so all security features are in there. Plus the clinicals, 100% psych classified. So when you walk into any of the patient room when we finish that pod, you really can't hurt yourself. All the fixtures are psych proofed. The walls, if I may use the term, they're rubber walls. The ceiling, the floor, so it's all proofed.
Wow.
It will be the first, probably in the entire state of Florida. Psych receiving in an ER, it will be the first with these features. There are a lot of hospitals, they probably have psych receiving, but we went we did a lot of research trying to find out what is available on the market. And what's available on the market is people build it out of concrete and then they line the wall, and the wall is similar to this, but a little bit harsher, so they can't destroy it. Well, sometimes they hurt themselves. So we found an federally approved manufacturer that makes a wall just for that. And we purchased that. So,
why'd you look right at me when you were talking about Baker acting? I don't know why you were, don't know why you singled me out.
I did that. If I did, I'm sorry. Hey, don't we all feel one day that I wish they Baker Act me?
Oh yeah. I'd love to have a Baker Act weekend sometime.
I will be there to do it. Thank you. Cool.
Again, that I don't call a feature. The radiology department here is not a feature. Don't consider it a feature. It is, for the first time for us as Halifax, it will be a big, huge move, because we always had the ER here and radiology here.
Right.
We've never had them like the rest
How
of the
many
world.
times have we been to the hospital?